Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Got a brand new microphone today, so hopefully all the old audio problems should be fixed. Right, we're going to attempt Everyman crossword 3917 today. As usual, the link is in the description. Do have a go yourself first, let me know how you get on. Here we go. Right, not just any flyer for a movie. We could be looking for the name of a film here. Don't know. Gratuities regularly shunned. At a push, Everyman will chip in. Tips is the obvious answer, isn't it? Come back to that. Days before, golfer becomes upset. Yeah, that is Eve's. The Eve, like Christmas Eve, is the day before, so in the plural that's Eve's, and backwards it's Sevi, who's a golfer, Sevi Ballesteros. State broadcast assessed value of Wimbledon champ. Don't know. Guide daughter to wear a sun blocker. Something shade, possibly. Lover Federer admits was excessively giving. Yeah, it's overfed. Overfed. So that's just hidden in these words here. And admits is telling you that these words sort of admit the answer. They have it inside them. It's overfed. Excessively giving. Russian ruler beats a retreat, bottles it. Tsar, assumably. So look at that. Russian ruler beats a retreat. Yeah, it is. It's just, again, these words bottle the answer. T-S-A-R. Spirited grittiness, tough in the extreme. No. To talk with enthusiasm in talk about hard earth is exhausting at first. It's a tough one. Repelled a raven, largely predatory beast. Predatory beast. Not sure about that. Let's have a look at this one with an F in it. Deaf-ish Nans treated. Well, that's an obvious anagram, isn't it? Being well looked after. In safe hands, I think. That's just an anagram of deaf-ish Nans, I think. This acid rain alarmed, again, obvious anagram there, campaigners. So what's that? Don't know, come back to that. Morally improved, Duke earlier, becoming exalted. The Duke is often D in crosswords. Exalted, delighted, doesn't fit. Come back to that as well. This one would be nice to get, wouldn't it? Mesmerised by Alexander Graham's weight, according to Spooner. Right. I'll explain Spooner once we've got the answer. That'll be much easier. Spellbound is the answer. Now, Reverend Spooner was an English vicar who he was famous for muddling up the sounds of words. So here we'd have spellbound. Spooner might have said bells pound. He'd mix up the first sound of two words like that. And that's, if you ever see Spooner in a crossword, that's exactly what you're looking for. So in this case, Alexander Graham is Graham Bell, inventor of the telephone, and weight is a pound. So Alexander Graham's weight is bells pound. And then if Spooner were to say that, it's spellbound, mesmerised. So that's quite a complicated thing to look out for, but you know, it's always clear because it'll have Spooner or sometimes Reverend. So do look out for that. Or let me know if you got any good examples of those that you've seen before. Right, a sad, a bleak king ordering pudding. Ordered pudding. Black something? No. Black. Yeah, it is black something. baked Alaska? Yeah, baked Alaska. I think that's an anagram of ordered is saying a anagram. Then you've got A sad, A bleak, and then K for king, like in chess notation. Do learn your chess notation, important in crosswords. Artist's empty landscape satellite's got to be LS Lowry. Let's just have a look at that. Empty landscapes, he means take all the middle bits out of landscapes, leaves us with LS. Sad is low, and lines is railway, RY. Again, something you only see in crosswords these days, but RY, railway, lines. More sickly, kind of green, perhaps slalomers heading off. Slalomer, that would be a skier. Yeah, so it's going to be K-I-E-R at the end, I should think. Skier with the heading off. Kind of green, P, peakier, more sickly. Arrangement of elements, potassium, nickel, iron and silver in parts. Well, it's got to be something to do with the chemical symbols. Potassium is K, nickel is Ni, iron is Fe, silver is Ag. So if we write that in, K, Ni, Fe, so silver must be the definition. It's got to be right, hasn't it? Arrangement of elements. Come back to that. In France, one, that's un, is where courses take a long time to get through. It's just unis, I think. In France, one is un, and is from the clue, where courses take a long time to get through. It's trying to make you think of like a dinner or something, but it's talking about universities. Made pencil portrait of Andy, Drew. Andy and Drew are both synonyms or short form versions of the name Andrew, and made a pencil portrait is Drew. Okay, so this corner was easier, wasn't it? State broadcast assessed value of Wimbledon champ. Well, from the letters here, it must be the famous British champion of the 70s, I think it was, Virginia Wade. State broadcast assessed value. So, yeah, state is Virginia, the American state. Broadcast means say out loud. Assessed value, that would be Wade, W-E-I-G-H-E-D, Wade. And if we say that out loud, it sounds exactly the same as Wade, or Wade if I spell it correctly. And that gives us the Wimbledon champion. So what's this? Arrangement of elements. So the definition is silver in part. Oh, that's a very good. Table knife, table knife. So the arrangement of elements is a table, like the periodic table, back from GCSE chemistry. Then we've got the potassium, nickel, iron chemical symbols. And silver in part, if you say silver, that can mean collectively a set of cutlery, spoons, knives, forks. So silver in part of that, table knife. Very good, that's a brilliant clue. Membrane unusually scaly okay. So that's going to be just an anagram of scaly okay. I think it's going to be this, yolk sack, not a phrase I know, but with these letters it must be, I think. Brand new day, etc. for coward. Scaredy cat fits nicely, let's have a look at that. Brand could be scar, and the rest of it is an anagram of day, etc. New is telling you to put it in a new order. So this is the thing about cryptic crosswords. There's two ways to solve them. Firstly, you can do like we did with table knife, where we get the wordplay first, and then work out the answer from that. Or sometimes you just look at what you think is the definition, see what fits, and then work out what the wordplay is from that. So you can approach them from both directions, which is very handy. Realise with a Z. After losing 6 balls, it's a record. 6 balls is an over. Oh, it's disc. So realise, I don't know why it's spelled with a Z, but it would be discover. After losing 6 balls, that's a cricket reference, and over is 6 balls. So you take discover, take away the over, and you get disc, a record. A lot of cricket and crosswords, I'm afraid. Can't get away from that. I wish there wasn't. I don't know anything about cricket apart from the stuff you need to know for crosswords. Commonly, Norsemen underestimating tides primarily, yeah, it's just simple Canute, who was a famous Viking or Danish king, and it's just primarily C-N-U-T, first letters, but also the whole thing is the definition, because Canute famously sat on the seashore and ordered the tide to retreat, and he didn't, and he wasn't able to. So the whole thing is a wordplay and definition. Actually, I think he was a British king. I think. Let me know in the comments. Hoping for an H sound. This is a double definition. Aspiration. Hoping. If you hope for something, you aspire to it, and an H sound is an aspiration. That's just what that word means. This one is going to be aid then. This acid rain alarmed campaigners. Something aid. Charitable aid or something? No, let's come back to that. File requiring less effort fancifully. File requiring less effort fancifully. Don't know. This one, now we've looked at that. Let's get the easy anagram helper on this. This acid rain. Christian Aid. Christian Aid. That's a charity, I think. It's a good clue because it makes you think of environmental or pollution charities, but nothing to do with it. Repelled a raven, largely predatory beast. What would that be? Don't know. Spirited grittiness, tough in the extreme. Spirited. Don't know. Morally improved. Duke earlier, so we're probably looking for a 7-letter word for morally improved, and we're moving the D to the start, I would think. And what we result in is a word that means becoming exalted, or possibly just exalted. Morally improved. I don't know. Hates seeing sights, with sun not about. Seeing sights. Hates is probably the definition. Don't know, let's go back up here. The, not just any flyer for movie, it's actually the Aviator. That's a film, isn't it? I don't know anything about film. It's not just any flyer, it's the Aviator. I think that's what that's getting at. Gratuities regularly shunned. At a push, every man would chip in. I think it's got to be tips then. Gratuities. Regularly shunned. At a push, every man will chip in. Every man is the author of this crossword, so that's the I. Yeah, regularly shunned. It's at a push that is regularly shunned. So we're taking out every other letter. And we're left with T, P, S, and everyman, which is I, the person that wrote this. Put inside that TIPS, tips. Employee appraisal at the House of Lords. That must be peer review. Members of the House of Lords in Britain are called peers. So it's this sort of cryptic definition of peer review. Guide daughter to wear a sunblocker. Advisor. So a sunblocker is a visor, and if daughter D wears that, you get a guide, an advisor. Daughter is D. You might see that on, I don't know, where would you see D for daughter and S for son, but that's very common in crosswords. Morally improved, Duke earlier, becoming exalted. Morally improved. I don't know. So that's probably a D. That's probably an S. To talk with enthusiasm in talk about hard earth is exhausting at first. Is exhausting at first could be ISE. Is and then exhausting at first. Oh, is this could it be rhapsodize? That's not an everyday word, is it? Let's see. That means to talk with enthusiasm, I think. Talk is rap, hard is H, like in a HB pencil, and earth is a sod, SOD. So yeah, rhapsodize. Wow. Morally improved, Duke earlier becoming exalted. Deified? Yes, deified. Wow. Another tricky one, this. Morally improved is edified. Edified. And then Duke earlier means we take the D for Duke, move it to the start, and we get deified, exalted. Deified means become a god or become treated as a god. So becoming exalted. Not an easy one. Spirited grittiness, tough in the extreme. Spirited grittiness. Don't know that one. Repelled a raven, largely. So A, then we're probably looking for a four-letter word for raven that we put backwards without the last bit. What's a raven? I should get this. Come on. Oh, what's a four-letter predatory beast ending in A? Shout at your screen. I know it's obvious. Lion, tiger. No, don't know. What's this one then? File requiring less effort, fancifully. It's dossier, I think. That's a file, a dossier, and I think colloquially, at least in Britain, a DOS is something that's easy, something's dossier is, I suppose, requiring less effort. I think it says fancifully because that's maybe not the dictionary definition of dossier, but a sort of colloquial understanding of it. Right, hates seeing sights with sun up out. It's got to be detests, hasn't it? How does that work then? Hates seeing sights. Not sure how that works. Let me know in the comments how that one works. Seeing sights with sun not about. Don't know at all. Right, spirited grittiness, tough in the extreme. Spirited grittiness. That's a very tough one. We're doing well, only on 19 minutes, so let's give this a think. 10 letters. So spirited, that means spirited. Can't think of a synonym for spirited. Grittiness. Tough in the extreme. Repelled a raven, largely predatory beast. I just can't see this at all. Repelled a raven. I'm sure that this is saying A and then something backwards, which means raven. Crow? Yeah, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. It's an orca. Right, finally. It's a, yeah, as I said, it's a crow backwards, and then largely means, well, we take most of it, but not all of it. And that gives us orca, the big killer whale. Finally then. Spirited grittiness, tough in the extreme. Spirited. Well done if you've got this before I have. I haven't got a clue. Spirited grittiness, tough in the extreme. I don't know. I don't know. String, spring, stringiness? Stringiness would be tough. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to reveal this one. No, I don't know. Let's have a look. Stringiest. Oh, I was very close, wasn't I? Stringiest. So how does that work? Tough in the extreme is, yeah, stringiest. Spirited grittiness. Oh, it's just an anagram of grittiness. I can't believe I didn't see that. Sorry for my stupidity there. I'm sure you're all shouting at the screen. Anyway, that's how it is sometimes with the crossword, isn't it? Right, there we go. Do let me know how you got on. Hope you enjoyed the new sound quality. I'll be back next time for some more crosswords. See you next time. Bye.